Thanks for joining us here. My name's Chris. I'm at my family business. This is a brick and mortar store that's actively buying and selling. There's probably going to be real customers in the background as we're doing this. So again, thanks for being here. We're going to answer some questions that people have been asking me and topics that have come up. So let's get right to it. I get a lot of questions when people are selling me items. Well, should I donate this to the museum? Sometimes it's artwork, sometimes it's military items, something super sentimental. And they don't want to necessarily sell it, they want to kind of preserve it somehow. And they say, well, let's donate it to a museum. Well, let me tell you some stories about museums. Locally around here, we had something called the Armed Forces Museum. It was an awesome museum. They had tanks, a MiG fighter, all kinds of military items, uniforms from every war. Great thing, great items, great museum. And it was run by a gentleman that was very passionate about this. Unfortunately, he passed. And when he passed, his sons inherited the museum. Well, they didn't have the passion, they didn't have the drive, they didn't even have the kind of the ability to keep this going. So they shut the museum down, and now it and its contents are for sale. Even things that were donated. So I would like to say that the reason I brought that story up is when you give something away, when you donate it, you don't have any control over how long is something going to be kept, is it going to be sold or not sold, or what is generally going to happen to it. And in general, museums have very limited space. They are not gigantic buildings. They're generally confined to 5,000 to 10,000 square feet, maybe a little bit bigger. But they space their items out. They make it look very kind of spacey when you walk in. They don't want to overwhelm you. So even if you did donate something of high value to them that was very interesting, it doesn't guarantee that that's going to sit in a place of prominence for very long. Matter of fact, most likely it won't. Most museum items probably sit for about 6 months at the max, and then they change up all of their basically items so that people get a different thing. A museum does have to change, because if you went into this museum and saw the same stuff every time, it would be pretty boring. So what that means is after they're done putting your stuff out, they store it. And you don't know if it's going to be displayed again, or if so, or when. And what can happen is sometimes if the museum does want to expand, or they're coming up, or they have some repair that they need to make, sometimes they're forced to sell these items and use it for their own good. Now, if you're okay with that, that's one thing, but I'm just saying, if you're truly putting something in a museum for sentimental value, you lose control of it, and it doesn't mean it's always going to be at that museum. So I always tell people, I suggest if you like a museum, sell your items, get the money, and then decide how much you want to donate to the museum, because your items may not be there for very long. Hope this helps. Thanks for taking the time to listen to the video. I hope the information helped. People ask, why do I do this? Well, two reasons. I like to help people, help get everybody the fair price, spread the information, keep the collectabilities going. But also, we do like to buy. So if you do want some information on how to sell, definitely send me an email. I have a nice packet we'll send you out, and it describes the process. It's very easy. So send me an email. I'll send you an email back. And again, if you did like this video, press the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.